Hey guys, welcome back to Collecting Nolan. This is Russ, and today we're going to talk about Nolan Ryan's second strikeout victim. Do you know who it is? I'll tell you right now. It's Eddie Mathews, Hall of Famer. Let's talk about it. Edwin Lee Mathews was born October 13th, 1931 in Texarkana, Texas, where he played baseball. He was a 6'1", 190-pound third baseman. He was pursued both by the Dodgers and the Braves. But when he found out that the Braves would give him the best chance to start, he decided to go with the Braves. In 1949 was his first professional year where he batted .363 with 17 home runs. In 1950, he had 32 home runs and 106 RBIs for Atlanta of the Southern League. And then he was promoted to Boston in 1952. And Mathews is the only player to play for the Boston Braves, the Milwaukee Braves, and the Atlanta Braves. So he was promoted to Boston in 1952, and that's where he had his rookie year and hence his first Topps card, which was the last number in the set. It was number, I think, 405, if I remember right. However, it's a very expensive card, even in low grades. A recent PSA 4 sold for $6,795. But moving on, so with Ed Mathews in his inaugural season of 1952, he led the league in strikeouts, and he struck out 115 times. But he also had 25 home runs, and for a rookie, that's pretty dang good. He also was able to hit 3 home runs in one game against Brooklyn on September 27th, 1952. Although Eddie Mathews would later become known as one of the best third basemen in baseball history, probably only second to Mike Schmidt. At least he's probably in the top 5 at least for third baseman. He didn't start out too well at third base, but as the years went on, he became better and better and led the National League in putouts twice. He also, when he retired, he ended up leading the league in assists with 4,322 and chances with 6,371. In 1953, the Braves moved to Milwaukee, and that was the first season of the Milwaukee Braves. And that's where he hit 47 home runs for the home run title. So he was a very powerful hitter. And between the years of 1954 and 1956, he was able to hit 17 or more home runs and at least 95 RBIs per year. When the Braves won the World Series in 1957, he had hit 32 home runs and 94 RBIs. And he had a walk-off home run in the 4th game of the World Series. So all in all, Eddie was able to hit 30 home runs in 9 seasons and hit 40 or more for 4 seasons. He's often overshadowed because, of course, there was Hank Aaron that batted behind him. But at one time, Eddie Mathews' power was compared to that of Mickey Mantle. Rogers Hornsby also regarded him as one of the most dangerous hitters. And another accolade of Eddie Mathews was that he was on the first cover of Sports Illustrated. So Eddie Mathews was able to play 17 years, and he was the 7th player to hit 500 home runs. He had a very strong arm, and again, he defined the position of third base until Mike Schmidt came along. He was a 12-time All-Star. He was traded from the Braves in 1966, and he was able to hit his 500th home run on July 14th, 1967 against Juan Marichal, also a Hall of Famer, at Candlestick Park. He was only the 2nd National Leaguer to hit that many home runs, only behind Mel Ott. So these are some great players to be compared to. He was traded during the 1967 season to the Tigers. His final appearance came against the St. Louis Cardinals during the 1968 World Series, in which the Tigers won. So in his last year, he was able to win a World Series with the Tigers, and he was able to win a World Series with the Braves. He did manage the Braves from 1972 to 1974, and he was the manager of the Braves when Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run. I mean, it's pretty awesome. You know, it was pretty awesome to witness that one. He wasn't the greatest manager. He went 149 and 161 losses as the manager with the Braves. But he later coached for the Texas Rangers, Brewers, and Athletics. Eddie Mathews was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1978. He had a .271 batting average. He played in 2,388 games. He had 2,315 hits, 512 home runs, 1,453 RBIs, and a 95.9 WAR. He passed away February 18th, 2001 from complications due to pneumonia in Jola, San Diego, California. And he's buried in Santa Barbara Cemetery. The Braves did retire his number, which was number 41. And just looking up some of his cards, of course his rookie card being at the last card in the set and it being Eddie Mathews, that is the most valuable, but he does have about 3,600 cards from 1952 to present day to even make, just like Nolan, to even have cards of 2024 with Eddie Mathews on it. So Eddie Mathews only faced Nolan one time. Now, do you think Nolan knew who he was facing here? I mean, I think he did, because reading Nolan's books, he did look up to people like Hank Aaron and Roberto Clemente. So imagine if he knew about Hank Aaron, he had to have known about Eddie Mathews. And one of the things that I read about Eddie Mathews was that Ty Cobb said he had the perfect swing. So if that's coming from Ty Cobb, you know there's something to it. You know, and as a lefty, you know, watching just some highlight reels, and I'll post some videos that you guys can check out in the description. Just kind of remind me of like a hybrid between Babe Ruth and Ken Griffey Jr. I know that's kind of ridiculous, but like this guy, I think he's probably underrated, since he did bat in front of Hank Aaron for a lot of his career. I think he's kind of overshadowed by Aaron, but just watching him swing the bat it's a pretty marvelous swing, and you guys should check it out. So on September 11th, 1966, Nolan Ryan appeared in his first game, but he didn't start that game, as we already know if you watched my previous episode with Pat Jarvis. September 11th, 1966, Nolan Ryan entered the game in the 6th inning. The Mets were already down quite a bit. I think they were down 6-1. Eddie Mathews had walked in the first. He flew out in the second, but then he smacked a home run over the center field wall in the 4th inning. So even though that the Mets were down, I think 6-1 at that time, what do you think Nolan had going through his mind? He had struck out Pat Jarvis as the first batter they ever faced, and he got Felipe Alou to line out to fly out to right field. But then in comes this guy, Eddie Mathews. What do you think was going through his mind then? Because, you know, a guy who Ty Cobb said had the perfect swing. I would be a little bit nervous, I think. And Nolan struck him out, as you already know. But I just wanted to go over this card, because this card got, I couldn't afford the 1952 tops. But this is the 1953 tops, Eddie Mathews. This is the year that he hit 47 home runs for the home run title. And this is a beautiful card. Yes, it is only a 2. And I don't know, if you look real close, there is a wrinkle there. And the corner is a little beat up there. But, oh my, guys, come on. His 1952 card in a PSA 4 sold for over $6,000. That's out of my budget. But this card was not out of my budget. And I love this set. I absolutely love it. The 53 tops is just... the artwork is out of this world. The colors are out of this world. I mean, this card is 70 years old. It's over 70 years old and is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So, I'm just going to come out right now. I paid $130 for this card. And that is a steal for me, I think, all day long. A Hall of Famer. This is the year he hit 47 home runs for the home run title. Come on, 2nd year card. Come on, guys. How beautiful is this card, man? I just love it. And so Nolan Ryan's second strikeout victim, Eddie Mathews. That's all I got for you guys. Please feel free to comment below about, any Eddie Mathews stories or anything like that, or cards that you may have of Eddie Mathews. But I really enjoyed this one. I just like learning about these guys that he's faced and some of the stories that they've had. And I hope you guys are enjoying this series too, even though it's the only second episode of the Strikeout Victims. But what a great story Ed Mathews is. All right, thanks for watching.